Creek. Tom Lafferty along with Bill Kusler, Pat Castro, our statistician tonight, and Brandon Hamilton at the controls back at the Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3 studios in downtown Denver. A little up close look at these two ball clubs. And Bill, as we go through the teams as they come into play tonight, I kind of took last year's. Here are the guys that were the leading scorers for each team. Well, for both teams, at least the top three, gone, and gone. A little bit of restocking that has to happen.
It certainly is for Jackson. Of course, they had Sam Saufer, who played a huge role for 3 years at Jackson, averaged over 20 points per ball game last year. He graduated. Brian Brown, who came on strong his senior year and averaged almost 15 a game, he's gone. Colton Faddis, their big man in the middle, averaging 11 and about 8 rebounds per game, he is gone. So the two returning starters that they're going to be depending on for Jackson, Jordan Brasich, who averaged 7 points per ball game last year, and Parker Manalo, who averaged just under 6 points per ball game last year. And we talked with Coach Johnson, and he said that both of those players have really worked on their game. They've been working on their outside of shooting, and they should be good leaders for Jackson. For Snohomish, Jake Sjogren had a great touch from outside, about 14 points per game. He's gone. Mitch Morris, kind of a banger inside, not a pure shooter, but a scorer. He's gone, averaging 10 points per game. Jake Perry, another solid forward, gone at 9.2 points. And then Kobe McDaniel, the quarterback off of last year's football team, about 7 points per game. He's gone. So they bring back Kyle Sanifer, who was kind of an enigma last year. Sometimes he'd break loose and hit for 20, and then he'd disappear for a couple of games. So I'm interested to see if Sanifer, if he comes back and is able to be a little more consistent with his scoring. We know he can shoot, but he is streaky. And then Cole Bride, who I've always enjoyed watching him play. He's just a banger who just works his tail off and does all the little things. He averaged about 5.5 points per ball game. He will certainly be playing a bigger role this year for the Panthers.
We mentioned Jim Wilson taking over Len Bone as head coach this year. Last year was Bone's 20th season at Snohomish High School. Did we figure now 53 years with 3 coaches?
I think, Coach Bone for 20 years. Coach Adams was,
about 14 or 15, I think?
Maybe 17 or so. Coach DeCover for 14 or 15 years before that. So Snohomish has coaches for a long time. Same thing with the football team. As Kai Smalley was the third coach in, since the mid-'60s for Snohomish. And here, Coach Wilson is just the 4th basketball coach Snohomish has had in 53 years. So, and you could tell just from the pregame interview how honored he is to be able to take over the reins on his high school alma mater.
You mentioned in the pregame interview with Steve Johnson, coach of Jackson, now that rivalry is a real rivalry with Glacier Peak, which is the school that's just up the street here.
Yeah, and they've had some great ball games, non-league games.
They've had some real barn burner type ball games.
They have indeed, and now those are going to be league games, and it's going to be really exciting to see how those games go. I'm interested to see how things level out with the new leagues. We saw it in football. I thought it was very, very successful in football. With the changes in the 4A and the 3A, and the 3A going to 2 divisions, 4A going to 1 division, and same thing in basketball.
Well, but what changes now in basketball is Ferndale and Squalicum are gone.
Right.
They're back up in the Northwest Conference. They're not that was only for football.
Yeah, that's true. And so they'll get to bang their heads against the Lindens and the Ferndales and all those teams up there.
And Snohomish and Everett, rather than being in the South Division in basketball, they're now in the North Division.
Yeah, so we'll have to wrap my head around that.
But it should be interesting, and I thought it was interesting that when you said to Jim Wilson, well, kind of who do you like in the 3A division, he just went Stanwood. Stanwood.
Yeah, Stanwood is good every single year, and we always seem to have one trip going up that direction, which is a lot of fun. And Zach Ward, has that program on a high, and they just continue to churn out the solid teams. But to me, interesting in the girls too. Snohomish, has played so well, and last year making it all the way to second in state, and then.
And let's talk about that a little bit. Last year, Snohomish never, on the girls' side, never made a sniff of the top 10. On any poll, Seattle Times, Everett Herald, didn't matter. Everett Herald, of course, they did. But the AP never had a sniff. They finished second in state.
Yeah, and there is, a little bit of a bias there, but it kind of evened out because you had Glacier Peak, Arlington, and Linwood on the 3A side, all up there. And, here's Snohomish, Ken Roberts kind of, fairly dominant in the 4A for a long time. Now he drops down to 3A, and he gets Linwood and Arlington down in the 3As to contend with. So that should be really interesting.
And the state tournament changes this year. Talking about changes, goes back to a 4-day affair, but they're using an RPI now to set up, after the districts are over, they'll set up who's the number 1 seed, 2 seed, 3, up through 12. So 12 teams will go on into the in the postseason to the state tournament, but they'll use an RPI. So now here's Bill to do the math.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, the RPI is the rating percentage index, which is a statistical system used to comparatively rank teams.
Right.
And the formula they're going to use is 25% of that grade is going to be your winning percentage, 50% of that grade is going to be your opponent's winning percentage, so you'll get credit for playing a more difficult schedule. And then 25% is the opponent's winning percentage against their opponents. So,
you're not sitting there with a calculator, right? It's all done on a computer program.
Right, exactly. But it rates teams on winning percentage, but it also rates them on how difficult their schedule it is. And it's the same type of thing, maybe just a little bit different statistically than the RPIs that they calculate for high school basketball or for college basketball,
right.
And that. But I think it'll be a much more fair way of seeding teams, so you don't end up with a first day matchup of the number 1 and number 2 teams in the state.
Right.
And upsets in the district tournament won't mean as much because they'll still have that same, the RPIs, and they'll still have the toughest teams, going against lesser teams in the early round and trying to make the tougher teams meet in the later round. So I think it's going to be a really nice change.
Yeah.
But interesting too, going from 8 to 12 teams.
Yeah, so it goes back to 4 days, but all the tournaments can be held in 3 buildings rather than having to have 6 buildings around the state. Let's take a quick look at the starters, and we'll have tonight's opening tip-off and game action. It is the Jackson Timberwolves, Snohomish Panthers. The 2016-2017 high school basketball season kicks off tonight right here on Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3. Not having Jackson High School, Mill Creek. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for the Snohomish Panthers, their brand new head coach Jim Wilson. They will start a 6'1" senior Tristan McGregor, not Connor McGregor, Tristan McGregor. Darius Johnson, a 5'10" junior. Seth Cavan, a 6'1" senior. Cole Bride, a 6'3 senior, and Kyle Sandifer, a 5'10 senior. So McGregor, Johnson, Kevin, Bride, and Sandifer, the starters for the Snohomish Panthers. For the Jackson Timberwolves, they will start Jordan Brasic, a 6'1 senior, Parker Manalo, a 6'2 senior, Ian Wilgress, a 6'4 senior, Brock Peterson, a 6'2 senior, and Hunter Johnson, a 6'5 senior. So Brasic, Manalo, Wilgress, Peterson, and Hunter Johnson are the starters for the Jackson Timberwolves as we open up this 2016-2017 season. Western Conference basketball tonight brought to you by Glass by Lund, attorneys Russell and Hill, Altitude Trampoline Park, your Allstate Insurance agent Brian Reed, Dr. Alan Erickson, dentist, the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Store, and Everett Community College. Those are the starters, those are the sponsors, and we will come back for tonight's opening tip-off and game action coming up next. The Snohomish Panthers, the Jackson Timberwolves. We open it up for 2016 right here on Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Third Jackson, a 6'5" senior, number 30, Hunter Johnson. The head coach at Cascade is Snohomish is Jim Wilson, the head coach of Jackson, Steve Johnson. Tonight's officials are Shane Bain, Rob Neifert, and Jeff McCollum. Now will you please stand and remove your hats? And singing tonight's national anthem is the Jackson student Juliana Craig.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
School Gymnasium for the lid lifter of the 2016-17 high school boys basketball schedule. It is Jackson hosting the Snohomish Panthers. Western Conference basketball, Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3. Streaming live on KRKO.com and tonight on STSPN.com as well. Brought to you by Glass by Lund, the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Store, attorneys Russell and Hill, your Allstate Insurance agent Brian Reed, Altitude Trampoline Park, Everett Community College, and Dr. Alan Erickson, dentist. And we are set for basketball for Snohomish. McGregor, Johnson, Kevin, Bride, and Sandifer. For Jackson, Brasic, Manalo, Wilgress, Peterson, and Johnson are ready to go. Shane Bain, Jeff McClellan, Rob Neifert are set to go. They are the officials. We're ready for basketball here at Jackson High School tonight.
Interesting to see Snohomish. They go fairly small starters. They go 6'3", 6'1", 6'1", 5'10", 5'10". Jackson definitely with a height advantage coming into this game.
Ball in the center of the floor. The whistle sounds in the heavens, and underway we are, and it'll be controlled by the Jackson Timberwolves. Wolves across the chest in green, white uniforms. Moving to our left here, Brasic, top of the key. Swing a pass over the right-hand side to Manalo. Looks down low, instead goes to Brasic along the top of the key as they work the perimeter here. 20 on the shot clock. Dribble drive in, Manalo with the right hand, puts it up, bounces once, bounces twice, comes off, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds, and they're going to say Manalo went over the back and tried to grab his own rebound, committed the foul. That'll be the first personal, first team, and it'll be Snohomish Panthers basketball for the first time.
Jackson moved the ball along. Manalo trying to break in between two defenders. Got a nice look at about an 8-foot runner. Would not go, and then picked up the foul.
Darius Johnson dribbles in. Ball swatted out of there. Swatted out of there by Hunter Johnson on the block. And it'll go, actually, they're going to call him for a foul. They're going to call him for a blocking foul. So a nice block, but got him with the body, and that'll send Darius Johnson to the free throw line. Bill has already been out there and offered $25 for his shoes.
They are gorgeous. I don't know how well the pink and purple Nike go with the red and black uniform, but those are sweet.
So first free throw, no good. Second free throw is good, and the first lead of the ball game goes to the Snohomish Panthers. 1-0 here. We're 35 seconds into the first quarter of the first game of the 2016-17 season. Jordan Brasic, left wing, nearly knocked over Johnson. He kind of fell backwards, a little play acting there as they'll work the perimeter. Brasic, left corner, and a whistle and a travel. Jordan Brasic commits the turnover. A semi-unforced error, although he had Johnson right in his grill the whole time.
Snohomish playing very intense defense, man-to-man on that end, being very effective. Brasic a little bit frustrated there.
Johnson brings it up, swing it past right side to Tristan McGregor, and a hand check foul will be whistled. And they're going to get Hunter Johnson for his second in a row, second personal, third team foul. And out of bounds now for Snohomish. So the son of the coach is going to have a seat next to dad as he picks up two quick fouls. Swing a pass over the right-hand side. Swing it out to Darius Johnson again. He'll back it up. Johnson across the top of the key, now through the big Timberwolf emblazoned in the center of the floor. Johnson with it, 17 on the shot clock. Dribble drive in, goes in amongst the trees, puts it up, no good, missed. Rebound is going to be flagged down and grabbed there by Snohomish. Cole Blyde has it. Back out for a three, ball up, offline, no good. Missed by McGregor, and rebound taken down and grabbed by Brasic. Here come the Jackson Timberwolves, down 1-0 score. Manalo goes in, lays it up, and lays it in.
Manalo with great body control, just going between defenders, and just a sweet scoop shot in for two.
A 2-1 lead for Jackson. Now Darius Johnson with it for Snohomish. Panthers moving to our right in their red uniforms with black numbers and letters and white trim, and a turnover, out of bounds pass, and it'll be turned right back over to the Jackson Timberwolves.
So Hunter Johnson will take a seat for Jackson with the two personal fouls.
And here comes Brasic out of backcourt for the Timberwolves. Moving down to our left, going in, laying up good. Jordan Brasic gets a behind the backdoor laying up and good. And the lead is 3 points for Jackson at 4-1.
Looks like Jackson is really going to depend on their two senior guards to lead the way offensively, Brasic and Manalo.
And here's a steal taken away, grabbed by Brasic, goes in, laying up good. Steal and the bucket as the ball was knocked away there. Nicely done by Islam Oltaki. He knocked it into the hands of Brasic, who laid it up and in, and opens up a 5-point lead now for Jackson. Back out for McGregor, shoots a three, rattles off, no good for Snohomish. Panthers getting one shot at it, and the rebound is going to be grabbed by Brock Peterson. And here comes Jackson. Manalo stops, pops from the foul line, it's good. So quickly out to a 7-point lead are the Jackson Timberwolves.
Yeah, Jackson being very patient on offense, getting some good looks. Snohomish a little frenetic. They're having difficulty with that Jackson height advantage.
And speaking of that, the ball's going to just be stolen away by Wilgrist. Going in, laying up good by Manalo, and a timeout on the floor called by the Snohomish Panthers. We'll step aside as well with 4 minutes and 52 seconds to play in the first quarter of action. Our score, the Jackson Timberwolves 10, the Snohomish Panthers 1. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball on Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3.
VideoFide creates the ultimate outdoor protection system on batteries. The OMV is a totally wireless detector camera that can be installed anywhere without wires or power cables. When the motion sensor detects an intruder, the OMV sends video alerts of what caused the alarm to a central station for immediate review and dispatch. VideoFi delivers faster police response and protects remote assets by helping law enforcement catch the bad guy.
Kusler, 3 minutes and 8 seconds into the ball game, and lots of questions are already being answered.
Well, Jackson looks really tough. They got their scores out in the guards. Ian Wilgris, one of those guys that just does the little things, getting the steal that time to get that breakaway going. Jackson playing suffocating defense so far.
Has held Snohomish to just 1 point off a free throw to take the early lead, and then it's been 10 straight for Jackson. That's McGregor, rifles a pass to the baseline. Seth Cavan, long cross-court pass to Johnson, shoots from the corner, rattles off, no good. Rebound grabbed down by Bride. He's got a couple of rebounds, and then a traveling call. Has down flat on his face with the basketball, and you can't do that as Seth Cavan called for the travel and the turnover and give it back over to Jackson.
Snohomish with no luck inside. They've been taking some outside shots. They are going to have to hit those outside shots if they are going to stay in this game.
Oltaki now swings it to the top of the key. Brock Peterson back to Oltaki again. Islim Oltaki, and here's a steal. Taken by Johnson, going in against Brasic. Good defense by Brasic, but the follow-up is there for Cole Bride to grab the rebound, put it back up and in, off the miss. And it'll be a 10-3 score, and here's another steal by Johnson. So back the other way we go. Snohomish with the basketball. Dumper pass down low. Cavan laying up and good. So Panthers with a couple of easy buckets and a couple of steals and cuts that lead in half. Now it's 10-5 Jackson with the lead at 3:52 to play in the opening quarter.
All those were hustle points for the Panthers.
Will Grist puts it up with the right hand, no good. Back up, no good. One more time, no good by Brock Peterson. Third time was not a charm, but it'll have to be an out-of-bounds play here as a rebounding foul is going to be whistled here against Jackson, and trying to grab his own rebound. First one was fine. Second one was fine. It was the third time, Bill, that Brock Peterson called for the foul.
Indeed, and Jackson had a little bit of foul trouble.
A 4-0 lead in fouls for Jackson. A 10-5 lead on the scoreboard for Jackson. And 3:35 to play in the first quarter. Darius Johnson with the basketball for Snohomish. Panthers moving to our right in their red uniforms. Darius Johnson nearly tripped up as he's on the dribble. Manalo on him. Tries to dump a pass down low. I think it wasn't intended for Cole Bride. It was off his fingertips and grabbed. Manalo pull-up jumper for three and brains it from the left side.
That's 9 points for Parker Manalo, 9 of their 13 so far in this first quarter. I asked Coach Johnson before the game who's going to be taking over for the outside shooting, and it looks like Manalo has that job well in hand.
Darius Johnson dumps it down, laying up, no good by Bride. Rebound grabbed by Ian Wilgris, and outlets it to Brasic. Brasic slaloms through a bunch of defenders, kicks it out to Oltaki, puts it up with the left hand. It goes, counted. Hooping some harm, and he got fouled on the way in. Not sure how that one went in, but Islam Oltaki says, I'll take it.
I'll take it. Again, when you work hard, good things happen.
And it's out to a 10-point lead for Jackson again. Snohomish had cut it to 5. And then back out now to a 15-5 score with 2:45 to play in the first quarter. Oltaki lay-in, or the free throw is good. Cole Bride picks up the foul, his first personal foul. First team foul against Snohomish. Panthers with the basketball. And a 16-5 lead for Jackson. Johnson goes in, maybe trying to do a little bit too much all himself as he goes in as the ball stripped away and grabbed. Oltaki with it. Now to Brock Peterson again. Back to Oltaki, shoots, misses. And grabbing another rebound there is Seth Cavan for Snohomish. Panthers down. Johnson goes in, lay it up and good.
Well, Coach Wilson said they wanted to get up and down the floor, and they're certainly showing that that's the type of offense they want to run.
We're going to call the blocking foul here as Brasic went in. Knew he was going to get fouled on the way in. Went through and laid it up nicely. And the foul is going to be whistled here on Kyle Sendifer. The 5'10 senior picks up the foul. That's his first personal foul. Second team foul. So Jordan Brasic will try to get the three-point play the old-fashioned way at the stripe. Free throw is good, and the lead is now at 19-7. So the lead is up to 12 points here in this first quarter for Jackson.
Bracich is getting what we all would have loved to have gotten, our college golf scholarship offers.
Yeah, he's got 3 golf scholarship offers. Isn't that pretty cool? Although he's a football quarterback and plays on the basketball team, a rare 3-sport athlete. Laying this up and good. Darius Johnson lays it up and in. Pulls Snohomish to within 10. Underneath, underhanded lay-in won't go. Otake goes hard to the boards at the baseline. He will get up, but he'll have to go to the free throw line as he got fouled on the way down there.
Well, Darius Johnson, I don't know how that ball went in. He had so much English on that thing. It hit the side of the backboard, spun all the way across and down through.
Foul on Seth Cavan, his first personal foul, 3rd team. Otake first free throw is good, and he will get another.
Paul Doney will enter the Jackson lineup along with Hunter Taylor.
So going fairly deep on the bench is Steve Johnson here in a non-league game. Next free throw by Otake is good. Jackson also with a non-league game coming up. Actually, on Friday, they host Glacier Peak, so they're right into 4A play on Friday. They're playing some early games because they're heading to San Diego for a Christmas tournament. Here's a steal, a turnover by Snohomish, and Jackson brings it down. Right corner, Hunter Taylor shoots a 3, rattles off, won't go. Battle for the rebound, who's got it? It's going to be surrounded by Timberwolves and grabbed there by Otake. Manalo kind of dribbles around, goes around his defender, puts it up and misses, no good. And the rebound's going to be grabbed by Seth Cavan, outlets it to Darius Johnson, dribbles to the baseline, and then an errant pass intended for Nolan Armbruster. Incomplete pass, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Jackson Timberwolves basketball.
I think Darius Johnson for Snohomish can be one of the most fun players to watch this season. It may be good, it may be bad, but it's going to be fun.
You just can't take your eyes off of him. That's what it's going to be. Parker Manalo. Now Otake. Left side, Wilgress. It seems like Wilgress is about a 3rd-year senior. He's been around a long time. Dribbling in, Otake puts it up high off the window and in. Islim Otake puts it up and in and opens up a 14-point lead for the Jackson Timberwolves, their biggest lead of the contest thus far.
Otake, 7 points off the bench.
Darius Johnson, in no particular hurry, working the ball out of the left wing. Shot clock is dead, down to 17 seconds to go. Now starts to dribble. I'm not sure playing for one shot and you're down by 14 points, and then he's 5 seconds closely guarded. And so that turns it right back over to the Jackson Timberwolves. I always figure that you play for one shot if you're up by 10.
Yeah, or down by 2. But
yeah,
you're down by 14 in the first quarter. I think
it's let's go.
Just got to go.
12 and a half seconds to go. Jackson will get the last shot here. Wilgress. It almost looks like Darius Johnson, the whistle, and Darius Johnson's face ran into Wilgress's elbow. But they're going to call Johnson for the foul. That's his first personal, 4th team. So they caught up on the team foul department. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Inbounds Manalo has it left side, 4 seconds, lays it up, won't go, battle up, no good. Otake, no good. And the final rebound of the quarter will be grabbed down by Seth Cavan. We played 1 quarter here at Jackson High School in the 2016-17 opener, and it is the Jackson Timberwolves 23. The Snohomish Panthers 9. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball. I knew I'd do it once. Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3 and STSPN.com. offenses here at Jackson High School. Snohomish will inbound it, and they get it down to the baseline. And a tie up there. Held ball, and on the alternating possession, it'll go right back over to the Jackson Timberwolves.
Both teams getting a lot of different players shuttling in and out, wanting to gain that experience. The first ball game of the year. Snohomish going with a very small lineup with Josh Johnson at 6'2", the tallest man on the floor for the Panthers.
So here's the inbounds now for Jackson. Brasich top out between the circles. They'll swing it back out to the top to Hunter Taylor. Brasich again looking in the cross court. 16 to shoot. Dribbling in. No, they're going to stop there. Brock Peterson to Taylor. Taylor looks cross court over to Oltaki. 9 to shoot now. Back over to Taylor. Dribble drive along the baseline. Back out to Brasich. 4 on the shot clock. Kick is back over to Taylor. The ball goes out of bounds. But it was carried out of bounds by Darius Johnson, and it'll be turned right back over with a fresh shot clock on the board now for Jackson.
First quarter, Snohomish 4 for 12 from the field, 33%, 0 for 3 from three-point range, 1 of 2 from the line. Jackson 9 of 17 from the field, 53%, 1 of 4 from three-point range, and they hit all 4 of their free throws.
So a fresh 35 on the shot clock now for Jackson, and they'll inbound it. And I think that Brasich was not sure that ball was an air ball. They reset the shot clock, but I don't think they should have. I think they're saying that, but they never reset the. When they did the big deal, the whoop-de-doo from Laughing, that means reset the shot clock. But Brasich then just flung one up and it was out of bounds. But anyway, back to action. Snohomish with it, and draining the 3 ball there is Darius Johnson. Pulls Snohomish to within 11 at 23-12. Hunter Taylor on the other end will answer with a 2 ball from 18 feet away at the right side. And so here come the Panthers. Johnson looks over to his head coach, Jim Wilson, at the bench area down to our left. Here's Brasich quickly with it, gets a steal, goes in, lays it up, gets hammered on the way in, count the basket, and he got fouled.
That was great timing,
Nicely done there.
Because he let go of the ball before he was at the top of his jump, and so no way that ball was going to get blocked, and then drew the foul as well. That's just a savvy senior move.
And so free throw coming up here for Jordan Brasich. Tristan McGregor picks up the foul. His first 5th team free throw good by Brasich, and the lead is out to 16 points. Biggest lead of the game for Jackson at 28-12. McGregor now to Josh Johnston. 2-way first team All-Wesco in football and defensive back and wide receiver. And they're going to call a foul here off a shot by Snohomish, but follow up on the rebound. The foul is going to be called against the Snohomish Panthers, and they will call it against that same Josh Johnston, playing a little too much defensive back there. 6'2" senior picks up a foul. That's his first personal foul, the 6th team foul. And a timeout called by Snohomish. Will step aside with 6:10 to play in the first half of action. 28-12. Jackson on their home court leading Snohomish. Snohomish County Western Conference Basketball, Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3 and STSPN.com. Bill, you talked about a savvy senior move by Jordan Brasich, and we talked about him getting scholarship offers to play golf. Those golfers are the guys that really know what their bodies do, don't they?
They do, and they're the guys that can remain calm in tough situations as well.
Yeah, if you're over a putt to try to win some tournament, and here's a steal by Snohomish. Darius Johnson with it. Now swing it down to the baseline. Turn around by Cavan. Won't go. Battle for the rebound. Who wins it? It's going to be carried out of bounds by Oltaki, and it'll still be in the possession of the Snohomish Panthers in their front court. So out of bounds for the Panthers. Fresh 35 in the shot clock. 5:45 to go in the first half. A 28-12 lead for Jackson on their home floor. The opener for both teams. Here's a turnaround jumper. Good. Darius Johnson puts it up, and Coach Wilson immediately says, go back and play defense. And that didn't happen, and they got a lay-in on the other end. You celebrate on one end, and you do so much celebrating you forget to play defense with the guy coming down the other way.
Now, Darius Johnson, who missed his first 4 shots from the field, he's hit his last 4, including a couple of threes, and he has 6, 8, 10, 11 points so far to lead Snohomish.
First free throw, only free throw, no good there for Paul Doney. The foul had been called on Darius Johnson, his first personal and the 7th team foul. So into the bonus goes Jackson. Laying up no good by McGregor on the other end. And the rebound again grabbed down by Jackson. Doney with the board, gets it up the floor. Bracich with it. Hooks it past corner. Otaki wide open, but the 3 won't go. And Johnson goes high in the air, grabs the rebound for the Panthers. Here comes Snohomish out of backcourt. Down by a 30-15, so it's a double score, 15-point lead for Jackson. Right side it goes. Nolan Armbuster. Down in the corner goes to Bride. Bride deep in the corner, closed off there. Gets it back from McGregor. Can't lay it up, no good. Now scrap for it. Bodies on the floor. They're calling a tie-up. And so with that, it will be in the possession of the Snohomish Panthers. They keep it in their front court. Fresh 35 in the shot clock, and reserves in for the Jackson Timberwolves. I think they've gone back almost to their original starting lineup.
It's important in these preseason games. You get a lot of players, some playing experience. Get ready for those league tilts.
On the inbound, nearly stolen by Manalo, and they're going to say he affected it enough that the recipient of the pass there traveled with the basketball. Kyle Sandifer commits a traveling infraction, and it'll go over to Jackson on the turnover. For Snohomish, they have committed 11 turnovers compared to 6 for Jackson so far. Here's Bracich, puts up a long 3 that will not go. Rebound controlled by Johnson. He brings it out of backcourt for Snohomish. Some blood on a uniform down in front of us, so they're being attended to by the training staff. Foul's going to be called here against the Snohomish Panthers. And they're going to whistle Cole Bride for the foul. Picks up the foul. That's his 3rd personal foul.
And that was a tough one. He goes to set the screen. If the player breaking over the screen goes too soon before he's set, then the screener is the one that's called for the foul, and that's what happened in that case.
So inbounds here for Jackson. Bracich brings it to the front court, looking to throw it off of a Snohomish Panther, and we're going to have a timeout called. Timeout? No, they're going to say it was last touched by a Panther, so it'll still be Jackson basketball. They tried a little trap there, and Bracich, we mentioned, just doesn't panic. Says, I'll just throw it off of somebody else, and we'll keep the basketball. So here we go. Manalo with it. In the corner, Oltaki. Check it, it's not Oltaki, that's Christian Liddell in there now. Now back out to Bracich. Spins away from the defender, puts it up, won't go. Rebound is going to be missed. And Seth Kevin will grab the rebound for the Snohomish Panthers. Up the right side, Sandifer. Now to Johnson out between the circles. 3:47 to go in the first half. A 30-15 lead for Jackson. Johnson on the dribble. Gets it to Johnston. Back to Johnson. Dribble to the baseline. Goes in. Puts it up off the window. No good. Battle for the rebound. Won by Ian Wilgress. Here come the Wolves out of back court. Bracich with it. Waits for his teammates to join him in front court. Brock Peterson back to Bracich. No, it's going to be stolen away from him. Grabbed and going in, laying up good by Sandifer. Kyle Sandifer with the steal and the bucket. And it's 30-17 the score, and a foul called. They're going to call an offensive foul here.
Yeah, Bracich, he did that earlier down and made me kind of laugh. He was able to clear some space with his forearm. Was not called that time. A similar play here, just giving himself a little room with that forearm, and that time he was called for the offensive foul.
You can't do the forearm shiver. They don't like that.
I don't know if they call it that anymore. They called it that back in our day.
Darius Johnson with it for Snohomish. Panthers with it in their red uniforms, black numbers, white trim. Moving down to our right, going in. Armbruster misses as he kind of went in wildly. And they're going to whistle a foul here, and it's going to be on Christian Liddell, 6'1 sophomore, his first personal foul, 6th team foul. And Nolan Armbruster goes to the free throw line for the Panthers. First one is good. He'll get another. I misspoke. Jackson's next game is at Meadowdale and then at Everett next Tuesday. So they have a few non-league games before they open up league play, hosting Mount Vernon Friday the 9th. Next free throw is good. Snohomish's next game, they host Glacier Peak, their cross-district rival, on Friday night. Tuesday at Kamiak, at Juanita on the 10th. Then they'll host Monroe on the 13th. They'll yet to open league play, a little smaller league, as the games against the South do not count in that Wesco 3A. Going in, laying up good, Parker Manalo. Lays it up and in, and opens up a 32-19 lead with 2.5 to go in the first half. And answering on the other end was Darius Johnson with a 2. It's up and in. It's 32-21. Snohomish within 11. Jordan Brasich at the right wing. Long cross-court pass to Manalo left side. Nothing but red in there, but he dribbles through them, puts it up, no good. Brasich grabs the rebound. So Manalo and Brasich are playing a little one-on-one here and keeping possession of the basketball until Liddell gets his hand on it, and he called for the travel. Manalo and Brasich say, we were doing just fine, thank you. Yeah. So here comes Snohomish. Darius Johnson could pull it to within single digits. Dribbling in, laying no good, flatten the seat of his pants, he goes, and he's going to go to the free throw line with a couple of foul shots. Foul whistled on to Parker Manalo, and that's his second personal foul, 7th team foul, but 2 anyway here for Darius Johnson.
Johnson, on the one hand, he's trying to do a lot himself, not really involving his team as much as they could. On the other hand, no one else is really showing that they are able to give Snohomish an offensive punch. And so maybe the fact that he's taking a lot on himself is by necessity.
First free throw good, second free throw no good. 10 points in the lead for the Jackson Timberwolves. Manalo tries to answer with a 3 on the other end that will not go. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Snohomish. It'll still be Jackson basketball in their front court with a new 35 in the clock. Manalo goes to the bench, and Eastlyn Oltaki will check in for Jackson.
Well, Snohomish down by as many as 15 has whittled that lead back down to 10.
As they work it around, it goes to Ian Wilgress. His foul or baseline jumper right side won't go. Rebound controlled by Snohomish. Johnson cleared for a 3 that will not go. And Iltaki grabs the rebound for Jackson. Back the other way we go. Jackson in their white jerseys trimmed in green with wolves across the chest. Brasich playing catch out here at the top side with Christian Liddell. Now to Peterson, to Wilgress, to the baseline. Back to Peterson, puts it up just softly as you please from 8 feet away. Puts it up and puts it in. And it's a 34-32 lead for Jackson. 34-22 lead for Jackson. Coming up on a minute to play in the first half. Going in, laying up no good by Johnson. Rebound controlled here by the Jackson Timberwolves. Brasich now in the corner as they swing it over to the top of the key. Back to Wilgress, and a hand check foul is going to be called, and it's going to put Ian Wilgress to the free throw line. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Snohomish County Western Conference Basketball. Darius Johnson just about runs over the official trying to chase the basketball. Here's a turnaround jumper by his teammate. It's no good by Seth Cavan. Rebound controlled by Jackson with 36 seconds to go. They'll play for a shot right here by Wilgress off the front of the iron. No good. Rebound controlled back up. Peterson had it. Got it to Otaki for the laying up and good.
That was a fantastic pass by Peterson, knowing exactly where people were on the floor. Got it to Otaki for an easy lay-in.
Down to 19 seconds to go. Snohomish can play for one shot. Right side, Sandifer dribbles into the paint, puts it up off the window. Actually, never hit the window, but it did go in. And here's a steal by Johnson. 1-on-2. Johnson lays it up, no good. Probably should have waited for the teammates. Sandifer, wow, Brasic drains it from midcourt. Count the bucket for a 3-ball by Jordan Brasic.
Nothing gets a team more excited going into a half than a shot like that. Brasic, they went from 12 to a 15-point lead on that shot, and Jackson has been tremendously impressive here on this opening ball game of the year, showing that losing a lot of their frontline players to graduation has not allowed them to lose a step at all.
Well, and Steve Johnson has shown over the years, I mean, Mill Creek is fresh out of Kingma's and Todd's and that ilk. So, but he's been able to reload, and only until last year did their streak of going to at least a state-level game was finally broken.
It was indeed, but they are very impressive here tonight. Snohomish is small, they're kind of inexperienced. They've got some talent. They need to harness that talent to be a little more predictable on offense.
We will come back and take a look at what's going to happen this weekend down at the Tacoma Dome as the state championships for football are on the docket for the weekend. Right now, we will take a break here at halftime. Our score, the Jackson Timberwolves 39, the Snohomish Panthers 24. Snohomish County Western Conference Basketball, Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3 and STSPN.com.
Let's take a look at the stats quickly. Snohomish shooting from the field 9 of 25, 36%. 1 of 6 from three-point range, 16%. They have hit 4 of 6 free throws. Jackson 16 of 33 from the field, 48%. 2 of 10 from three-point range, 5 of 7 from the line. Snohomish led by the 14 points of Darius Johnson, then 4 points for Kyle Sandifer and 2 apiece for Seth Cavan, Cole Bride, and Nathan Armbruster. Jackson led by the 12 points of Jordan Brasich, 11 for Parker Manalo, 9 for Islam Altaki off the bench, then 3 for Hunter Taylor, 2 for Brock Peterson, 2 for Paul Doney. Tom?
Thank you very much, Bill. Back to action we go. Alternating possession controlled by the Jackson Timberwolves as they move it to our right in their home white uniforms, trimmed in green, a little black as well, as they work it to Hunter Johnson, who's rode the pine for most of that first half after picking up 2 quick fouls. Here's Brasich, 3-ball, rattles, settles, and drops in. Jordan Brasich with the bucket from three-point land.
6 for 8 from the field is Brasich as he hits that 3. Snohomish going into a 1-2-2 zone, the first zone defense we've seen from them.
Here's a turnaround jumper. It's up and good for Sandifer, but I don't think they're going to count it. No, they're going to call a foul away from where the ball was, an illegal screen type or illegal blocking penalty here, and they're going to call Jordan Brasich for it.
Well, it's unfortunate for Snohomish as they take away that three-pointer.
Yeah, they say, we'll give back the foul if we can take the points. I don't think you get to do that. Sandifer tries to answer with what he did before. This time it won't go, but the rebound controlled by Snohomish. Now going in is McGregor, then not expecting the pass at the baseline with Cole Bride. Gets it off to Johnson, back to McGregor, gets hammered from the top, and he will go to the Hunter Johnson, goes airborne, goes over the back, and it'll be McGregor going to the free throw line, and 3 fouls here on Hunter Johnson.
Well, that time Snohomish showing a little bit better ball movement than we saw in the second quarter, really moving the ball around, just not quite getting the shots to drop until that one.
That one by McGregor puts it up and in, and it's a 42-27, 15-point lead for Jackson. Brasich to Johnson. Goes in underneath, bad pass. It's going to be stolen away by Snohomish. Grabbed by Sandifer. Up the floor to Johnson. Now to McGregor in the corner. McGregor dribbles into the key, turns around, then dumps it down low. I don't think expecting it. They're going to say partially blocked out of there by Seth Cavan had it, and then it's going to be controlled by Jackson, who answers on the other end with a three that will not go by Manalo, and the rebound is going to be controlled by Cavan. Up the floor now for a three that won't go by Sandifer, and a whistle away from the basketball. They're going to get a Panther for going in a little bit too vociferously here against a Jackson player trying to grab the rebound. And this one's going to be whistled on Tristan McGregor, his second personal foul, first team foul.
So Darius Johnson for Snohomish trying to be more of the playmaker here. He was the scorer in the first half, trying to get more of his teammates involved, which I think was probably one thing that Coach Wilson talked about at halftime.
Here's Manalo at the baseline, laying his up and good. Parker Manalo makes it 44-27, a 17-point lead for Jackson. They've led by as much as 18 in the ball game. Dribbling in, Johnson goes hard to the floor, fouled on the way in. I think Brock Peterson is going to be the guilty party here. It will be 12 white.
Enough of that playmaking.
Yeah.
Let me take it back. Let me take it back to the hole.
So Darius Johnson will go to the free throw line. Second personal on Brock Peterson. First free throw no good for Johnson, and he'll get another. 5:57 to play, third quarter. Darius next and won't go. Who gets it? Everybody touches it. Finally grabbed by Manalo. Manalo looks up floor. He'll take it himself. Goes in. Short arms a lay-in, no good. Battle for the rebound won by Brazic. Turns around, goes deep in the well, kicks back out. He'll go to the free throw line and earn them at the stripe. Talk a little bit about after you've practiced here for 3 or 4 weeks or longer, if you've started in the summer thing, and suddenly you have officials that are calling fouls, things that you got away with during practice.
Exactly, and it seems like they're calling them really close. Actually, I think this has been a very well officiated ball game, but yeah, it's going to take him a few games to get in the flow of how officials are calling a game and how aggressive you can be.
And a lot of coaches will bring in officials the last couple of scrimmages and say, hey, call this very tight. We need to get our mindset for having actual guy with striped shirts running up and down the floor.
Yeah, it's just a different feeling when you're in an actual game. You can scrimmage as much as you want, but it always feels different when you're on the court against another ball club.
Cole Bride, his fourth personal foul on that one, a couple of free throws, and it's 46-27. Sandifer trying to put up with a couple of threes, has hit the one that didn't count, and then has missed his last two. Brazic brings it down. Wilgris corner, yes. A three for Ian Wilgris, and they've run away with this one, and it's a 22-point lead for Jackson at 49-27.
Yeah, their outside shooting is just, Snohomish trying to pack the middle, trying to come out, but they have been so hot from outside, and it hasn't just been one player. Manalo, Wilgris just hit that one. Brazic, Otaki had 1 or 2 threes. They have a lot of shooters.
Looking for an entry pass here, and a foul is going to be called. And this will be whistled here on Brock Peterson, his third personal foul, fourth team foul. Inbounds for McGregor. Dribbling in, gets it off to Johnson, puts it up in traffic, foul call. Darius Johnson had it, went in against Hunter Johnson. I think maybe, is this going to be Hunter Johnson? Yes, that's 4. And he's kind of shaking his head. I think he's probably the victim of the, we don't call it that way in practice guy. Yeah. And he's going to go to the bench.
Yeah, he's just not quite as quick. Johnson's big at 6'5", but he's going against some smaller guys that are quicker, and sometimes you're just a half a step slow.
Free throw, no good by Darius Johnson. Tried to get his own rebound, disrupted things, and got it into his teammate's hand, Seth Cavan, and then a travel. A travel on Cavan after Darius Johnson kind of stole the rebound away off his missed free throw, and then Cavan couldn't handle it and commits the turnover. Up the floor, Manalo brings it across the timeline. Right side, Otaki dribbles into the paint, bounces in the corner to Wilgris. Out to Brazic, knocked away from him. Grabbed by Sandifer, going in, laying up, good. Now Sandifer with the knockaway steal and then the bucket, and it's a 20-point lead for Jackson at 4:35 to play here in the third quarter. Brazic goes in, knocks over Johnson, And it's going to be, he was looking for a foul. Johnston was looking for a foul. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's laid up and in by Manalo.
No, I think it was Otaki.
Will Otaki grab it?
Yeah.
Okay, Otaki grabbed it. I was watching the guys on the floor. Here's a shot of the way, no good by McGregor. Back up, no good. That was a miss there by Seth Kevin. And the rebound controlled by Jackson. Timberwolves with it. I think we've reached garbage time.
This is a wild one. They're flying up and down the floor.
Wilgris bounce pass to Manalo and a whistle. Officials will try to restore order here. And they're going to whistle it on Brock. No, check it. It's going to be on McGregor. His third personal foul, third team foul. And so out of bounds at the baseline now for Jackson. Ian Wilgris on the inbounds. To Otaki, now to Manalo. Looking back to Otaki, he got pushed away from the ball. Kind of let him a little bit too much, and it'll be turned over to Snohomish. Panthers down by 22 points to the Jackson Timberwolves. Darius Johnson goes in, spin move, puts it up too hard off the glass, no good. Rebound back down, turnaround jumper, rattles and drops through. Seth Cavan with the rebound and the bucket. The 6'1 senior puts it in, and it's 51-31. Pull-up jumper by Brasic, rattles off, won't go. Johnson had it, and they're going to say then knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Otaki, and it'll be Snohomish Panther basketball.
Jackson will bring Paul Doney back in, give Wilgris a little bit of a rest.
As Coach Steve Johnson's gone fairly deep on the bench here in the opener. Really some playing time. That'll tighten up as league play gets underway. Turnaround jumper no good by Sandifer. Otaki grabs the rebound. Out of backcourt they come. Long cross-court pass goes to Manalo. No, it doesn't. Stolen away, but sold back the other way by Peterson. Going in, laying up and good. One steal deserves another, and then the lane is up and good. And it's 53-31, a 22-point lead as Jackson equals their biggest lead of the game.
Well, it definitely seems like a first game. Players a little bit out of control.
Dribbling in, Armbruster puts it up too hard off the side of the backboard, no good. And then Darius Johnson runs into Brasic, and he's going to be called, I believe, for the foul. Yes, it will be.
That was a little funny exchange as Armbruster kind of slapped Darius Johnson's hand and walked away. Johnson sitting, wait a minute, you're going to help me up?
So they just kind of shook hands and did the bro hug there. So everything good there. Another whistle, another foul. And they're going to whistle this one against Nolan Armbruster, playing a pretty tough defense there. His second personal foul, fifth team foul. Now going in, Brasic goes high in the air, down he goes. Got bodies on the floor. Foul's going to be called as Brasic went up, and then he got kind of undercut there by Johnson. But Johnston, I think, was just standing there.
Yeah, he got it. Brasic was called for the offensive foul, I believe. No, or not. Or did they call a foul?
Well, they're going to give it. Snohomish is going to have it. I'm not sure. Yeah, they came over and misreported the foul. 24 was the recipient.
Now they've corrected it. Yeah, Brasic, the foul was on him, and he got up with kind of a sore lower back, and he immediately asked Coach Johnson to sub for him.
And I'm guessing we won't see him again the rest of the evening until we may invite him over to be our player of the game.
Yeah, we'll see.
As here we go, Jackson basketball in their front court, leading at 53-31. Cross court, Otaki looked at the three, didn't take it. Looks at it again, doesn't take it. Now it goes in, dribbles it and lays it up and in. Looked at the three a couple of times, decided better of it, and said, if no one's going to play defense on me, it's incumbent upon me to head to the hoop.
Well, great body control, too, and spin on the ball. That was really well done.
2 minutes to play, third quarter, 55-31. Brock Peterson goes high in the air, intercepts the pass. Jackson's just running away with this one. Otaki, he'll give it off to Hunter Taylor. Otaki again. Islim Otaki. A couple of spin moves there. On him is Armbruster playing defense. Now Manalo Dribbles in, uses the right arm to clear some space, and the ball's taken away from him by Darius Johnson. Here come the Panthers out of backcourt. Johnson kicks a pass in the corner. Sandiford tries another three. This one won't go either. He hit the one that didn't count. Everything else hasn't gone. Manalo goes in, lays it up and in. Grabbed the rebound, they went coast to coast, laid it up and in, and it's 57-31. A minute 18 to go, third quarter.
Sandiford's 3 for 3 from 2 and 0 for 5 from the 3-point range for Snohomish.
Going in, laying up, actually just standing there. Hands in the air was Paul Doney. The ball was stripped out of there. And then answering there is Manalo on the other end, and a timeout called. And the Jackson Timberwolves have a 28-point lead over the Snohomish Panthers, 59-31, 102 to go in the third quarter. We step aside. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball on Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, we are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Break, you can answer and ask your own question that you asked.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Darius Johnson for Snohomish is such a talent, but he's playing so undisciplined and wild. And the challenge for a coach is how far do you rein him in? Because they don't really have anything else going offensively. So do you just let him go and play as wild as he does because he is able to convert on a lot of points, or do you try to rein him in and get other people involved? And that doesn't work. It's just one of those difficult decisions in coaching.
And the other thing is, and you talked about that as well, year after year after year, how disciplined the Jackson Timberwolves play.
It's like
1 through 12. Too.
Yeah, it's like he's coaching one of the military academies or something. I mean, seriously, they are a very disciplined team.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Snohomish will have it. Josh Johnston will throw it in right in front of the Snohomish bench. If they can get Jim Wilson, their coach, to get out of the way. He's kneeling down in front of the bench. Here Sandiford goes in, misses a lay-in, no good. 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. Manalo with a three, good. Boy, that just hurts if you're a Panther fan, because that makes it a double score at 62-31. It's a 31-point lead for Jackson.
Manalo with 9 points in the quarter, 20 for the night.
11 seconds to play in the third quarter. Johnson goes in, lays up, no good. With 4.8 seconds to go, he'll go to the free throw line.
And he's drawn a lot of fouls. He's missed on his last 5 free throw attempts. Just 2 for 7 from the line. So
Paul Doney picks up the foul, his first personal foul, 7th team foul. Free throw good. And getting another one will be Darius Johnson, the 5'10 junior. And he will get another free throw here with 4.8 to go in the third. Next free throw, high in the air, bounces through. Quickly, here comes Manalo out of backcourt, measures, and now his ball's going to be knocked away by Armbruster, and they will not get a shot off. End of three quarters. Our score, Jackson 62, Snohomish 33. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball on Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3 and STSPN.com. some of the fans. A nice crowd on hand here for the Jackson Timberwolves. Sections fairly packed across the way from us. Kind of giving him a bad time, and he's kind of dishing it right back to him. I guess it's easy when you're up by 62-33 score for the fans. And a foul called here just 5 seconds in. And the whistle here is going to be called on Islam Oltaki. His first personal foul. Darius Johnson at the free throw line hits his first free throw. He'll get another.
Snohomish in the third quarter, just 26% from the field. Jackson shooting 64% from the field on 9 of 13 shooting.
A whistle here off of the free throw. I think it's going to be a line violation here against Snohomish. So no points there, and it'll be turned over, and Jackson will have it. Oltaki out of backcourt, dribbling in through the paint, puts it up and lays it in. Boy, he just put on a burst of energy and hit the Jets, and through he went, and up to 30-point lead. Fadeaway won't go for Johnson. Armbruster with it. Now out to the right side. Pull-up jumper, no. Back over to Johnson. Fake the pass, step through move, puts it up, rattles off, no good. Tap up and good by Josh Johnston. And a timeout immediately called here by Snohomish. We'll take a break, 7:26 to go in the game. 64-36, Jackson with the lead. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball, Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
But all Jackson tonight, Snohomish had the early lead, 1-0. And then 10 straight points later, and it's just been off to the races for Jackson as they've now gone deep on the bench. In fact, now Oltaki goes back out there. Hunter Taylor, Jordan Brasich returns as he had gone down kind of with maybe some kind of hip. He's still kind of walking a little weird, just thinking he landed a little awkwardly. Hunter Johnson back out there playing with 4 personal fouls, and Ian Wilgress. For the Snohomish Panthers, they'll inbound it here quickly. And now we're going to have a whistle. They had dropped the ball for Snohomish. Are they going to say 5 seconds and it laid there? Or was it the wrong team? Oh, it was the wrong team. Oh, that's right. Snohomish had scored, remember? Meanwhile, Snohomish had scored and then called a timeout. It should be Jackson's basketball anyway. Yeah, picky. Here's a shot on the way. No good by Brasich. In fact, it was partially blocked there by Armbruster. Quickly up the floor. Here comes McGregor. Goes in. Puts it up too hard off the glass. No good. Wilgress grabs the rebound. Outlet pass it goes. Up the floor to Taylor. Hunter Taylor looking down low. Go to Oltaki. He'll bring it out topside. Now dribbles in quickly over to Wilgress. His 3-ball will not go. Goes over the back of the backboard and over the top. It'll be turned over to Snohomish. 64-36 the score. Jackson with the lead. Panthers with the basketball. Moving to our left. Darius Johnson. Now to McGregor. Keep wanting to say Connor McGregor. Going underneath is Johnston. Armbruster back over to Johnson again. Goes in. Ran into the arm of Hunter Johnson. No call there. And no basket either. And Oltaki grabs the rebound for the Timberwolves. Wolves with the basketball. And the white jerseys moving to our right. Johnson. Brasich. Goes around a screen, back to Johnson again, goes in, laying up and good. Hunter Johnson with his first bucket of the ball game to go with his 4 quick fouls in the game.
And now you're seeing Jackson go into his zone defense for the first time in the night. An opportunity to work on some things.
As Jackson will play at Meadowdale on Friday and host at Everett a week from tonight. Dribbling down, going in, laying up, no good. Kind of a hook shot there by Johnston. It's going to be a miss, and Brasich grabs the rebound. Oltaki down to Johnson. Hook shot, no good. We've got 6 dozen Johnstons and Johnsons out there. Going in, laying up, no good, but grabbing his own rebound was Seth Cavan. Back out to Johnson. Cavan in the corner. It's closed off at the baseline, and Hunter Johnson called for the block. I think that's to be his 5th. And he kind of gets up, kind of shaking his head. He's done with 5 personal fouls. And Hunter Johnson will be done for the evening, and Parker Manalo will check back in. And also checking in is Paul Doney for Jackson. 5:28 to go in the game. The lead is 66-36. And free throw, no good. Missed by Cavan. I'm guessing it's too late. Probably not any eligibility left for John Brockman sitting down on the bench, is there?
They could use him right now.
Yeah. Going in, here's a fadeaway jumper by Wilgris, won't go. Otaki back up. No, he won't go back up. He gets fouled and has Darius Johnson laying across his arms. And so Islam Otaki will go to the free throw line. Darius Johnson picks up the foul, his 3rd, 6th team foul. Free throw will not go. And he will get another one. We were back with you next Tuesday night. Lake Stevens at Stanwood, boys basketball. Next free throw good. It'll be interesting to see Stanwood, how good they are. Then the following Tuesday, Monroe right back here at Jackson. The Bearcats and the Timberwolves in the Wesco 4A opener. Looking right side, Darius Johnson. In the corner, the Armbruster eyed the 3, eyed it again, but Manalo's right on him. As now they work the corner. Cavan shoots a 3 in the corner, won't go. Armbruster gets the rebound, puts it back up and in. No one on him, grabbed the rebound, put it back up and in. At the 4:38 mark, the score 67-38 Jackson. Manalo with it out between the circles. Dribbling in, scoop lay-in, up, won't go. Rebound going to be grabbed by Snohomish's Seth Cavan. And then a near steal back by Manalo, taken back by Darius Johnson. He kind of smiles as he comes across the midcourt stripe. Nothing but white shirts in front of him. Kicks it back out to Cavan. Thinks better of an 18-footer, takes a 16-footer, won't go. Kept alive there by McGregor into the hands of Johnson for the layup and good.
Oh, wow. The windmill going to the hoop and back in with that one.
I just have to cough up a lung every once in a while. Here's a turnaround jumper by Manalo, will not go. High in the air, grabbing the rebound, Josh Johnston for the Panthers. Now Johnson dribbling in, pull-up jumper from the foul line, in front of the iron, no good. And grabbing the rebound is Paul Doney for the T-Wolves. Manalo, right side Otaki, his fadeaway will not go. Battle for the rebound, won by Johnston. Brings it out backcourt for Snohomish, dribbles through the traffic and lays it up and in. At the 3:26 mark to play in the game, 67-42 the score.
That was a nice, very physical move by Johnson to break in through the defenders and get it up off the glass.
The reserves are coming in now for Jackson. As Steve Johnson's played about a 9-man bench, I think, but now he's going to take numbers 10 through about 13 or 14 to go in. Parker Manalo at the free throw line. First one on the way, it is good. He will get another.
So Kyle Bigovich comes in for Jackson along with Channer Hendrickson and Christian Liddell waiting to come in. So
wait for Manalo to come out.
So it's a real luxury when you get a big lead to give the reserves a lot of playing time early in the season. That can come in handy when league play gets underway.
And you see it especially when you get to a league and district state tournaments. Those are the times that suddenly an injury here or there, suddenly you're down 2 guys.
Yep.
And your bench rotation all changes. Coming up on 3 minutes to play. Shot no good by Sandifer. Johnston kept it alive. Gives the Armbruster, lay it up, no good. And a foul called. Nolan Armbruster will go to the free throw line.
Josh Johnston plays like he plays football, just flying through the air, grabbing it. Not the most polished of players basketball-wise, but playing with a lot of heart.
Bigovic picks up the foul. Kyle Bigovic, a 6'5 sophomore, his first personal foul. 10th team foul. So the double bonus rest of the way for Snohomish. First free throw is good. Second free throw is not good. And Doney grabs the rebound for Jackson. Timberwolves big tonight here against Snohomish. Bounce pass baseline, foul called. Josh Johnston. Yeah, he was playing defense there like a DB, all Western Conference defensive back.
Did they call pass interference?
Yeah. And so that'll be Kyle Bigovic to the free throw line. And his free throw is an air ball.
Well, Bigovic had a big play. He played 1/4 of the JV game and got a breakaway dunk in that game. So he'll be happy with his evening, even though that free throw didn't go.
Yeah. Which is better, a dunk in the JV game or an air ball free throw into a varsity game?
It's easy for me to say. I don't have too much trouble figuring that one out.
Foul on the other end here. It's going to be whistled against Channer Hendrickson. First personal. Double bonus time. And free throws here for Nolan Umbruster. It's good. 2 minutes, 40 seconds to play. And another one coming up here. Next free throw is good.
Armbruster with 7 points off the bench.
And then
one bright spot for Snohomish.
Tried to steal that ball away and at least disrupted it enough to almost call the turnover. And still coaching is Steve Johnson. Like, okay, well, this may be a blowout, but you guys are young guys. You got to earn your place out there now, so let's play some defense.
Now Snohomish bringing in some players deep off the bench. Caden McDaniel, a 5-foot post. A 6'5" post coming in.
The 5-foot post, you don't see those all the time.
Not often. Muggsy Bogues.
2:32 to go. We've been in garbage time here this most of the second half, as it's been Jackson up big.
Jonah Judd with the basketball, just coming in off the bench for Snohomish.
With Jonah Judd, think Abraham Lincoln with the beard. So that's what you got to think there. He's going to go to the free throw line and try to get into the scorebook as Paul Doney picks up the foul. And now Jackson wants to call a timeout. We will as well. 2:24 to go in this one. 69-45. Jackson big. Snohomish County Western Conference Basketball, Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3 and STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
I think it's surfing night at Jackson High School tonight. Their side. They're happy with their basketball team so far. First free throw is good, and another one coming up here for Jonah Judd for the Panthers. And he will get another, which rattles and comes out no good. But back up by McDaniel, it will not go. Battle for the rebound. Who wins it? A tie up there. Josh Johnston ties up on the floor with Kyle Bigovic. And they're going to say alternating possession. It'll be Snohomish Panther basketball. Armbruster will throw it in at the baseline. 2:20 to play. To Judd, to McGregor. Dribbles top of the key. Now he launches a three that won't go. McDaniel goes in the air, grabs the rebound. Short arms a lay-in, no good. Gets his own rebound. Still scrapping for it. And I think they're going to get Bigovic with a foul. And Caden McDaniel will go to the free throw line.
Looks like one of those big Seahawk linemen with the dual knee braces.
Yeah. Some of those guys have knee braces on top of their knee braces. Caden McDaniel, free throw no good. And he will get another. It's 69-46. Jackson's led by as much as 31 points in this game. And it's just been kind of a free-for-all here this last 10 minutes or so. Taylor out of backcourt. Ball knocked away by McGregor. It'll be still Jackson basketball with 27 on the shot clock. Less than 2 minutes to play. Looking to inbound it to Liddell. Bigovich, his three will not go. And it touched the top of the iron, I think, or top of the brace that holds the basket.
That brace is like 5 feet above the top of the backboard. That thing, I think that ball has a lot of air in it. It bounced way up there.
So back over to Panthers, go the ball, and here we go. Armbruster, Judd dribbled along the left side of the key, puts it up and lays it up and in. Jonah Judd with the bucket. The lead is 21 points at 69-48, a minute and a half to play. Out of backcourt, Christian Liddell. Now to the near side here, Paul Doney. Liddell again. Loses the defender. Loses his teammate as well who fell down, Paul Doney. And they're going to whistle this one on Nolan Armbruster. A foul here. That's his third personal foul. And bonus time. And a couple of free throws here for Paul Doney. She'll get 1 and 1. For Doney, first one is good. So as it turns out, he will get 2.
So Jackson gets to play at Meadowdale on Friday. I wonder how many Meadowdale football players are now in the basketball team and whether that limited their amount of turnouts because the football team went so deep into the playoffs.
Next free throw good. It's 71-48. Minute 15 to go. Nolan Armbruster. Caden McDaniel back to the basket. Leaves it for McGregor, who shoots and misses from the top of the key. Armbruster has been all over the floor. Tried to grab that rebound. Couldn't do it. Taylor brings it out of backcourt. Swing a pass over the left-hand corner. Shot on the way. It's an air ball. Too long. No good by Channer Hendrickson. Back up. A reload. Back up by Taylor. Won't go. And Josh Johnson grabs the rebound. Inside a minute to play in the fourth quarter. Ball was last touched by a Jackson Timberwolves player, so it will be Snohomish basketball at the baseline. Look on the inbounds. Oh, hard to the floor goes Johnston.
There's no helmet.
No. And a whistle. And we're going to have another foul called here. And this will be on Paul Doney. That's his third personal foul. And free throw here for Jonah Judd. Judd at the line. First free throw is good.
And Jonah Judd now 4 points, coming late in the ball game, coming off the bench.
We're getting information coming in here. We asked about Jack DeCover's first year. Our friend Tom Friel believes it was a 61-62 season. So Jack DeCover, the first of the 3 coaches in 54 years then?
Yep.
With Jim Wilson taking over this year from Len Bone, who was there for 20 at Snohomish. 35 seconds to go. Looking underneath, and Armbruster will grab it. Brings it down, puts it up off the glass, no good. Battle for the rebound, not much of a battle. Ball goes out of bounds. And it'll be out of bounds for Jackson. 24 seconds to go. As the Timberwolves have run away with this one tonight. As they'll run out the string here with Channer Hendrickson. we've decided on Jordan Brasich as our player of the game. You say 3 players in double figures. And this ball game will draw to a close, and it will be a 71-50 win for the Jackson Timberwolves. So Jackson improves to 1-0 as they start the season. Panthers will start 0-1 as these two teams in this non-league game. And it's a Jackson with a win, 71-50. Snohomish had the early lead at 1-0, and then Jackson scored 10 straight, and then led by as much as 31 points, and then they get the win finally by 21 points at 71-50. We're going to talk with Jordan Brasich, our player of the game, and that is coming up shortly. Right now, let's step aside for 1 minute and come back with our player of the game. 71-50 our score, the final score here from Jackson High School. The Timberwolves over the Panthers. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball on Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3 and STSPN.com. Stand up so he could be on the TV on STSPN, but our player of the game, sponsored by Allstate Insurance. We're going to talk a couple of things. I want to go different directions with you. First, let's talk about the difference of playing a game with actual officials and what happens in practice. It seems like sometimes you guys maybe were a little bit of a victim of, well, we got away with that yesterday afternoon, but we didn't get away with it today.
Yeah, early we had a lot of fouls called on us that, we were warned about, but we never really had practice against. Because in practice, we like to let things go. We like to, stay aggressive and everything. So, in the games, it's like 2 hands, that's a foul. In practice, 2 hands, like you just play on. So it's tough to kind of make that transition, but I think our team really handled that really well.
Talk a little bit about you and Parker Manalo kind of taking over the leadership role on the ball club and also having that outside presence.
Me and Parker, but we've been playing together for a long time. Last year with
For how long?
Since 4th grade, actually. 4th grade. Yeah, he was always actually a year up, and then when we got to 4th grade, we played together. 5th, 6th, 7th, he was a year up. 8th grade, then we got back to it. And, we've been playing ever since. So, me and him have this, this bond that just, we can't break. And, last year, me and him were the only junior starters. So, kind of had to take over that leadership role. We're captains this year. And we really wanted to, set the tone and, make a good impression. So, yeah.
Okay, now what we really wanted to talk about was every man's dream, getting offered a golf scholarship.
Yeah.
So have you decided yet, or?
I haven't decided yet. I'm still kind of waiting for, how much, it's the financial side of it stuff. But, right now I'm just kind of focused on basketball right now, trying to get as many wins for our team. So it's basketball season right now. I'm still thinking about it. We've got golf in February, but, right now it's basketball season. So.
And I get asked all the time because I do multiple sports doing this kind of stuff. Golf your favorite or
whatever season it is. Whatever season it is my favorite. So basketball season right now, basketball season my favorite. So, yeah.
Well, and I would think it's different, too, playing with teammates.
Yeah.
Golf, it's you.
Yeah, for football, it's different. In football, it's more, we got 80 kids on the team, we're a big family. Basketball, we got 12 of us, we got 7 seniors, and then golf is just kind of all me. So, I think every sport kind of complements the other, and that's what I really love about being a 3-sport athlete is just I can, take qualities from each sport and then put it together and try and make something happen. So
is there any temptation once you decide on golf to walk on basketball?
No, I've decided just to focus on golf in college, but so this is kind of my last year playing basketball, so trying to
talk a little bit about your coach, Coach Johnson. It just seems like you guys play such a disciplined game.
Yeah, Coach, I've actually known his son Hunter. He's on the team since I was 6. So our group of seniors, we've known him for a long time. I love Coach Johnson. He's a really, really good coach. He's really disciplined. In practice, he teaches us the things that we need to succeed in the games, and I think that showed right here with a win like this. We needed to come out, set the tone, and we've been doing that in practice, and he really wanted to emphasize that today, and I think we got it done. So. Yeah.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
There you go. Jordan Brasich. Is it Brasich?
Brasich.
Brasich.
Yeah.
Brasich. Okay. You're good.
Thank you very much.
There you go. That's our player of the game, Jordan Brysich from the Jackson Timberwolves tonight. 71-50 the win for Jackson over Snohomish. Our postgame show on radio coming up next. Again, the final score, Jackson 71, Snohomish 50. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball on Fox Sports 1380 and FM 95.3 and STSPN.com.